Head coach of the Cedar Creek Pirates. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Big week for the Pirates, so I want to talk about the game yesterday, and certainly that was dramatic, but let's go back earlier this week as you guys are on the road at Buena, of course. Buena, the defending Group 2 state champions, and your Pirates come away with the victory in that one. I mean, what was that feeling like? Obviously, you guys feel like you can compete with anybody, but anytime you can beat a defending state champion, it has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting the opportunity to play them again. Them being in our conference, we get to play them twice, so you get to see them a good amount. Our guys just came out. They wanted to win. They wanted to compete. They wanted to be able to show themselves against a good team as well. And just let everybody know that they could compete as well. We got a great pitching performance from one of our seniors, Dylan. We played great defense behind them, and came up some timely hits, which was good.
And you guys jumped on the Chiefs early in that game. I think you were up 4-5-0, and then Buena sort of scratching back into it, certainly making it close. You guys come away with a 1-run win. I mean, playoff-like atmosphere almost. So we're going to talk about some state playoffs here, but was that sort of a playoff-like atmosphere for a regular season game?
Yeah, absolutely. Our guys were in tune to it, all 7 innings, and, like you said, we jumped out to an early lead, but our guys knew that, they're a great team, they're a great program, and well-coached. They knew that, it was going to be a long 7 innings that we had to stay focused and, keep trying to put up runs and playing good defense all 7 innings and not just being satisfied with, jumping out to an early lead.
So you start the week with a big win over Buena. You end the week with a big win over Middle Township. 10 innings yesterday, Mike, as you guys come away with the 8-7 win? I mean, sort of a marathon. Baseball games, high school baseball games go 7. You guys go 3 extra innings in that one. How impressed were you with your team and their resolve to sort of grind it out and beat a Middle Township team yesterday?
Absolutely. That was it was a big win for us. Hopefully we can build off of that. And this week, going into the playoffs, but yeah, it's a long game. You ask pitchers to hold runs for that much longer, and you got to say pretty much, hey, don't give up any runs for the next, however many innings we're going to go. And that's a tough job as a pitcher. But we played great defense behind, and then ended up coming up with a big clutch hit there in the 10th inning to give us that 1 run. So it was big for us, and hopefully we can feed off of that and use those a little momentum going into next week.
Yeah, next week is the state playoffs, of course. Cedar Creek, you guys get seeded number 9 in South Jersey Group 2. That means opening on the road against number 8 Audubon. What do you know about this opposing team in Audubon? Is it a team that you've seen in recent years, and what do you expect? Obviously, these 8-9 matchups, always close, and it should be a great game in the first round of the Group 2 playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were able to check them out twice throughout the week. So we don't really know anything about them, before going into, what we were able to see a little bit. They're a great program. You just look at their track record. They won, they've won state championship, back-to-back state championships, 2011, 2012. So we know what we're kind of getting ourselves into. It's a playoff game, and, anything can happen. You can't really base yourself off of seeding and things like that. It's high school baseball. You give yourself an opportunity to win. Going out there and executing and playing good baseball. So our guys are excited about it, and it'll be a good challenge for us, and hopefully a good game.
Checking in right now with Mike Isgro, head baseball coach at Cedar Creek. And Mike, you look at all of the matchups in the first round of South Jersey Group 2, and there's a ton of Cape Atlantic League teams in there. I mean, obviously you guys get Audubon. Middle Township is the 13 seed going up against number 4 Glassboro. Buena, defending state champions. The Chiefs get the 6 seed. You have ACIT, I should say, going up against Lower Cape May in the first round. What does that say about the Cape Atlantic League and specifically so many of those teams come from your conference? I mean, what does that say about your regular season competition, how tough it is that so many of those teams are now in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I think, Cal in general on both sides there's a lot of good competition, a lot of good baseball going on. So it's definitely whenever, whether it's in Group 2 or Group 3, 4, and you get a Cal team that does well, it's always something that, helps out our conference and, puts us on the map a little bit and hopefully, Cedar Creek, ourselves, we could do something and, advance far in the playoffs and do well. And, but if it's not us, definitely would much rather be a another Cal team doing well, Group 2. And, like you said, our conference, there's a lot of Group 2 schools in there, so we're able to compete against each other, twice throughout the year. So it gives us a chance to evaluate and see where we're at.
You guys go to the Diamond Classic a year ago, and a little bit shakier start to this season, not qualifying for the Diamond Classic. But what's been the big difference this year to last year, Mike? Do you have a younger team? Maybe some bounces didn't go your way early in the season. Certainly, as of now, you're in a great spot. You're a hot team going into the playoffs. A chance to do some damage there. But disappointing missing out on the Diamond this year, or is it a situation where you knew you had sort of a different lineup coming into this year?
I think you set the bar high. We always have expectations to be competing for the conference, and then obviously competing to try to get into the Diamond Classic. Last year's group was a different group. We were hot in the beginning of the year, and then we got a little cold at the end. We try to stress, there's 3 parts of the season. You got your scrimmages, and then the regular season, and then the playoff games. So hopefully this, in the beginning of the year we're a little cold, but I think hopefully now we're getting on track and we're playing good defense, and we're executing. So that's hopefully we can just generate some momentum and roll right into the playoffs here.
Who are the guys really getting it done for you right now? I mean, we mentioned Kyle Isley with the walk-off hit yesterday, but you guys had a big week. Who are some other guys really standing out, guys getting the job done right now for the Pirates?
One of our biggest things is our catcher. Senior Johnny Rivera has really stepped up this year, offensively and defensively. He's throwing a lot of guys out. He's done a great job behind the plate, just calling the game, and at the plate. He's batting over 400. One of our leaders in RBI, so he's a big one. And 2 of our senior pitchers, Alex Bonney and Dylan Bentley, have really done a great job for us from a pitching standpoint, and Alex, at the plate as well. So there are 2 guys, 3 guys that jump off, but we got a lot of production with some other guys as well. So hopefully we can, just put it all together and come up with some timely hits and see what happens.
Does the atmosphere of practice change at all this time of year? I mean, does that pressure creep in a little bit? Do you guys are you able to stay loose? I know baseball teams, players always talk about, hey, staying loose, but come playoff time, how it goes as a former high school player, that next game could be your last. I mean, is there a different feeling at practice, or you guys try to keep it business as usual?
We'll practice tomorrow, but I think we're going to try to keep it business as usual. I think with every team, with the weather in April, there's not much. You haven't had much practice time. You've been playing 4 or 5 games in a week. So we'll see tomorrow. I think our guys will be excited and ready to go, and with a great opportunity. So I think we'll just try to keep it as business as usual, and we try to treat every game like a playoff game and go out there and compete every day. So I think it's a good challenge, and our guys are excited for it.
We'll get you out of here with a sort of a half football question. I know you're the offensive coordinator for the football team too, and a pretty fiery guy on the sidelines, and you certainly fired up for baseball too. Is there, maybe it's not a fair question, is there a sport you like more, a season you enjoy more? Certainly you're in baseball season right now, so the focus is there, but you don't get a lot of time off there at Cedar Creek.
No, I enjoy it. When it's baseball season, I really enjoy being out there and being with our group of guys, and then when it's football season, I really enjoy being with those guys and focusing on that. So I don't have a favorite. I enjoy both as much as the other. I just enjoy coaching these guys and helping them try to improve and become better players and better person as well.
All right. Once again, Cedar Creek opens the playoffs on the road at Audubon, South Jersey Group 2. Pirates head coach Mike Isgro, thanks for taking the time. Good luck to you and your guys in the state playoffs.
Hey, thank you. We appreciate it.
All right. Again, that's Mike Isgro, Cedar Creek Pirates head baseball coach.